applause, applause. I live for the applause, applause. Live for the applause, applause. Live for the wave that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause. Give me the thing that I love. Turn the lights on. Put your hands up and make it real loud. Give me the thing that I love. Turn the lights on. Put your hands up and make it real loud. Be up with you and make it real loud. Put your hands up and make it that's good. Be up with you and make it real loud. Put your hands up and make it that's good. I have overheard your theory. That's all just a piece. I guess, sir, if you say so, some of us just like to read. 1 second, am I coast, and suddenly the coast is me. Pop culture wasn't ours, now arts and pop culture ain't me. I live for the applause, applause, applause. I live for the applause, applause. Live for the applause, applause. Live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause. Give me the thing that I love. Turn the lights on. Put your hands up and make it real loud. Give me the thing that I love. Turn the lights on. Put your hands up and make it real loud. Be up with you and make it real loud. Put your hands up and make it that's good. Be up with you and make it real loud. Put your hands up and make it that's good. Ooh, touch, touch, ooh, touch, touch, now. I live for the applause, applause, applause. I live for the applause, applause. Live for the applause, applause. Live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause. Give me the thing that I love. Turn the lights on. Put your hands up and make it real loud. Give me the thing that I love. Turn the lights on. Put your hands up and make it real loud. Be up with you and make it real loud. Put your hands up and make it that's good. Be up with you and make it real loud. Put your hands up and make it that's good. ARTV,
Hey, what's up, big guys? Sonic1245 here. Welcome back to GSA Forever. Today yesterday I didn't shoot a video because number one, I wasn't done with the original, and I just didn't have time. I'm not kidding, I literally didn't have any time to do anything yesterday. Because the doctor's appointment in the morning, and after that I was literally exhausted, and I went for 2 walks, and then after that I got home and it was late, and I didn't have any time to record. So Tuesday I did record a video. It's uploading right now as we speak, but probably at the time at this uploading he'll be almost done, hopefully. But we were still doing chapter 22, so this is literally part 2 of chapter 22. So yeah, we returned the shoes and we put our own back on. Now what? I asked, a sign that Trace was spoiling me, and surely had more planned. He bent over, I jumped on his back, he straightened up with me, and I groaned, realizing he wasn't going to tell me what we were doing for our next date. Trace, don't be a meanie face, I whined. You'll see in a little, Corey, he said flatly. I see right now, off both of your eyes, but I would like to know. I like knowledge. Knowledge is fun to have, especially on dates with your incredibly sexy stepbrother boyfriend. I chatted. Trey seemed to tune me out as I continued to talk about pointless shit. He sent me back in the car once we reached it, and pulled out of the Walmart parking lot. I continued my talking as Trey stared straight ahead, not paying attention to me. He took my hand but didn't face me. I stopped talking and pouted. Fine, ignore me. Trey squeezed my hand. Hey, keep talking, he grumbled. You weren't even listening to me. It was like I was talking to a very sexy ball, I whined. No, I was listening to you. Just not what you were saying. I just like hearing your voice, he said simply. I blushed a little and let myself continue talking about random topics. Mostly my conversation consisted of penguins and how adorable they were. I glanced at Trace and saw an amusement look in his eyes. I realized that he was swinging the car keys around his finger, and my eyes widened. When did the car stop? I cried, looking out the window at the line of the shady-looking buildings. Jeez, was he getting drugs or something? A few minutes you were ranting about cute penguins, and you saw that you mentally named Trace, he said with a cocky smirk, and got out of the car. I felt my face heat up. Aw, damn, I probably should have monitored what I was saying. But But I couldn't help it. That penguin head just reminded me of Trace so much. I got out of the car and Trace locked it before taking my hand and leading me into one of the rundown-looking buildings. I eyed it suspiciously, and Trace rolled his eyes. It's nice in here. My mom and dad used to come here. They took me along a few times. He explained and pulled open the door and let me inside. A waitress came up to us and I realized we weren't actually in an incredible small restaurant. Well, who would have thought it? She sat us at a table covered with a white cloth, 2 candles flickering dully on the table, and Trace sat across from each other. Trace and I sat across from each other. The restaurant was incredibly small and hot. The lights were dull, and the walls were faded red brick, with fancy painting hanging around the little room. I'm tired. Trace handed me my menu, and I opened it and frowned. Trace, I don't speak Spanish, I whispered harshly, and realized I couldn't read a single thing on the menu. Corey, that's clearly Italian, you idiot. He said, shaking his hand. The English descriptions are right under the Italian name. Just tell me which one sounds good, and I'll order it for you. Trace ordered it for me, his voice turning me on as he spoke the Italian words easily to the waitress. She winked at him and took our menus before leaving the room. I stuck my tongue out at her retrieving finger. Chill out, Corey. She's ugly as fuck. Anyways, I'm all yours, Trace said, taking my hand and squeezing it. He leaned over the table and pressed his lips to mine. So, does this end our date? I asked, a little disappointed. I never wanted this thing to end. The ice seemed to melt out of Trace's eyes, and longer we hung out. I loved it. I loved seeing the amusement in his eyes. He looked at me very happy, and I liked seeing that. I liked knowing that we've been alone together made him happy. Trace shrugged and kissed me again. You'll see, he said calmly, and the waitress came out. She made a face at our hands held together over the table. She set our food down, forcing me to smile before she left us to eat. We ate in comfortable silence. I could tell that dating I could tell talking definitely was not Trace's thing, and despite how hyper I was, I didn't mind it at all. I kinda liked it. It added a mysterious tone to him, and it made him that much more attractive. We finished eating, and Trace... Sorry, my computer's acting weird today. We finished eating, and Trace paid before taking my hand and leading me out to the car. We got, and he turned the music low, holding my hand, and again began to dry. I rested my head against the window and closed my eyes. I didn't want to go back home to secrecy. I loved how open Trace was being, not caring who saw us holding hands and kissing. I felt him shaking me, and I looked over. Had I fallen asleep? A look on his face told me that yes, I had fallen asleep. I yawned and sat up and stretched. I looked out the windows. It's beginning to be home. It was dark out, but I could instantly tell we weren't home. I had no clue where we were, though. Trace got out of the car, and confused, I copied him. He took my hand and tightly led me down a parking lot. He let go of me to hop over a fence. I copied and took my hand again. I smiled softly, love for Trace coursing through me again. I turned and hugged him, and gently bringing my lips to his before to face the moon shining on the ocean. The waves crashed comfortably against the sand we were standing in. I hope you liked the date, Corey, Trace mumbled. I kissed him again and smiled. Liked it, Trace. I freaking loved it. Like, super duper loved it. I cried honestly, wrapping my arms around him and kissing him deeply. Corey, I love you, he whispered, and kissed me back, just as deeply. He took my hand and walked down some rocks, sitting on them in silence, the warmth of our body as comfortable as crashing waves. Tonight was sheer perfection as I rested my head on Trace's shoulder. and he wrapped his arms around my waist and kissed my forehead. I knew we meant it when we said we were in love. Author's note. Okay, you guys earned it. Oh, this is not the last chapter. Let me know what are your thoughts of the date. That's the end of chapter 22. Now I have to record 2 more chapters. I have to record chapter 23 and 24. So you guys are getting a little special treat. You get maybe 3 videos, maybe 4. 4 kind of chapter that's uploading, but maybe 5, because I might need to cut the chapters in the other parts, because literally the first part of this chapter is like 22 minutes long or something like that. Yeah, my videos are getting longer, but I'm gonna try to keep them short. So yeah, and until next time, games okay. Just ask the GSA. Mwah.